Okay. Today we study the combination of Cetas and Cetasikas, the Sangaha method. Now, Sangaha method is Ceta-Cetasika combination. So first you have the Ceta, and then you find out how many Cetasikas are associated with that Ceta. So if you are familiar with the Sampayoga method, Cetasika-Ceta combination, then the Sangaha method is not difficult. And if you have this chart with you, it's all the more easier. So you just have to read the chart across. Now in the manual, the Sangaha method is described beginning with the supramundane Cetas, and then it goes back to Mahagata Cetas, Kamavajra Cetas, and then Akusala Cetas and Ahiduka Cetas. So the order given there, described there is not the same order as this chart. But I think this chart is easier to follow. So we will look at the chart and find out how many Cetasikas are associated with particular Ceta. Now, first, you make yourself familiar with the Cetas, Lobha, Mula, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. I think you are already familiar. And then the Cetasikas above, Sabba Ceta Sadharana, all universals, and then Vitaka, Vichara, and so on. So now let us find out how many Cetasikas go with Lobha, Mula, first Ceta. Now, Lobha, Mula, first Ceta is accompanied by what feeling? Somanasa feeling. And then it is associated with what view? Wrong view. So, Somanasa, wrong view. And the first Ceta is prompted or unprompted? Unprompted. Right. Now let us see the Cetasikas. Seven universals. They will always be with every Ceta. So we don't have to worry about them. And then Vitaka, okay, right? Vichara, Adhimokkha, Viriya, Piti, Chanda. So all 13 Cetasikas are associated with Lobha, Mula, first Ceta. And then among the 14 Akusala Cetasikas, the first 4, Moha, Ahirika, Anottabha, and Odaja, they are what? Akusala universals. So they will arise with every type of Akusala Ceta. So we take those 4. And then what comes next? Lobha. Since it is Lobha Mula Ceta, since it has the Lobha as Mula, it must be accompanied by Lobha. Right. Then what about Ditti? Since it is accompanied by wrong view, we get Ditti. And then what about Mana? No, why? Mana and Ditti cannot arise together and cannot arise at the same time together. Why? Because, give me a simile. Like what? Mana and Ditti cannot coexist. Why? They are like two lions. Two lions of the same strength, which cannot live in the same cave, right? Okay, so we do not get Mana. Then what about Dosa, Isa, Machariya, Kukuja? No, they arise with 2 Dosa Mula Cetas only. Okay, and then next, Tina and Medha. They will not accompany those that are unprompted. So we do not get Tina and Medha. And Vichikicha, doubt. No, it is Vichikicha accompanies only one type of consciousness out of 89 or 121. So we do not get Vichikicha. Then Do we have to worry about Sobhana Cetasikas? No, because these are Akusala Cetas. So we don't have to look at these 25 Cetasikas. So we have to look only the first 13 and then second 14, altogether 27. So among 27, we will have to find out which do not accompany Lobha Mula Ceta and which accompany. So with Lobha Mula Ceta, the first Lobha Mula Ceta, there are how many Cetasikas? 19 Cetasikas. So if we get that 119, then the others will become easy. So you may subtract one out of them or add something to it, just that. Okay, now the second Ceta. The second Ceta is accompanied by what feeling? Somanasa feeling, associated with deity, wrong view, and prompted or unprompted? Prompted. So if it is prompted, it must be accompanied by Tina and Medha. So 19 plus Tina and Medha 2, we get 21. So the second Lobha Mula Ceta is accompanied by 21 Cetasikas. And you can just tell which Cetasikas they are. 13 common to others, or 13 Anya Samanas, right? And then Moha, Herika, Anotaba, Odhaja, Lobha, Deiti, and then Tina Medha. It's easy. When you have this chart, it's very easy. But if you lose it, it may be very difficult, right? Okay, the third Ceta. What is the third Ceta? With what feeling? Sompanasa. With or without wrong view? Without wrong view. So you will not get deity here. So if you do not get deity, who will come in? Mana will come in. So we still get 19, right? So 13 Anya Samanas, Moha, Ahirika, Anuttapa, Udhacha, Lobha, no deity, Mana. That's all. 19. Then the fourth. The fourth is prompted or unprompted? Prompted. So with the fourth, we add Tina and Medha. So 21 again, right? So 19, 21, 19, 21. Okay. Now we come to the fifth. The fifth Ceta is accompanied by what feeling? Ubbekha feeling. Since it is accompanied by Ubbekha feeling, can we get piti with this? No. So we take piti out. So from among 13, we get only 12. The others are the same, right? So Moha, Herika, Anotaba, Odhacha, Lobha, Deiti, right? So 18. That means 19 minus piti, 1, right? Then the sixth Ceta. It is prompted or unprompted? Prompted. So add 2, right? Tina and Medha add 2 and you get 20. Okay. Then the seventh one. With Ubbekha. With or without deity? Seventh. Without deity. Right? Prompted or unprompted? Unprompted. So, from among 13, we get 12 without piti. And then, Moha, Hirika, Anotapa, Udhaja, Lobha, no deity but Mana. So, 18. And then, the eighth, or the last of the Lobha Mula Cetas. So, it is accompanied by Ubbekha feeling and not accompanied by deity. And it is prompted. So, 12 plus 4 plus Lobha 1 and then mana and tina and metta. So we get 20, right? Okay, very easy now. So now, if you want to memorize 19, 21, 19, 21, 18, 20, 18, 20, right? Oh, good. Okay, next two, dosa mula. So they have dosa as mula. Since they have dosa as mula, they will not have loba. They will not have deity. They will not have mana. But they will have dosa, isa, machariya, kukuja. Okay, now let us see. Will they have piti? No. So from 13 we get 12 without piti. And then moha, ahirika, anotaba, odaja. Yes, because they accompany every type of akusala consciousness. And then no loba, no deity, no mana. But we have dosa, isa, machariya, kukuja. So altogether 12 plus 8, 20. Because this is unprompted. The next one is prompted. So add 2 and we get 22. Very smooth today, huh? Very good. So the first moha mula ceta, accompanied by what? Yes, ubekha and doubt, vicikiccha, right? Yes. But here, doubt and resolution are different. I mean, are opposite to each other. So they cannot coexist. So we have to leave out adhimokha, right? Adhimokha is this decision or resolution. So doubt is wavering. So they are not compatible with each other. So we take out adhimokha and piti and also what? Chanda, desire or coordination. Now desire, chanda is something like active. But moha mula chetas are very diluted chetas, and so they are not strong. So chanda is said to not said to accompany 2 moha mula chetas and all ahituka chetas. So for the first moha mula ceta, we get only 10 from the 13, right? So 13 minus adhimokha, piti, and chanda, right? And then 4 akusala universals, yes. And then loba, deity, mana, no. Dosa, esa, machariya, kukuja, no. Tina, metta, no. But we have vicikiccha. So altogether, how many? 10 plus 4 plus 1, 15. So the first moha mula ceta is accompanied by 15 cetasikas. Now the next one, the last of the akusala cetas, accompanied by what feeling? Ubekha feeling. Is it accompanied by doubt? No, but by what? Agitation, right? Restlessness. Kukuja. No, uddhaja. Uddhaja, not kukuja. Kukuja is for dosa mula cetas only. So, here there is adhimokha, but there is no piti and no chanda. So, how many do we get from the 13? 11. 11 plus akusala universal 4, 15. Only 15. So both moha mula cetas have 15 cetasikas each, but they are not the same, right? So with the first ceta there is no adhimokha, but there is vicikiccha. With the second ceta there is adhimokha, but no vicikiccha. So the first moha mula ceta is accompanied by 15 cetasikas, and second also accompanied by 15 cetasikas. So with regard to akusala cetas, we have to look at only two groups, right? Anya samana and akusala. We have to look among 27 cetasikas only. We don't have to worry about the other 25. Now we come to rootless consciousness. How many rootless consciousness are there? 18. And how are they divided? 7. I'm refreshing your memory. Huh? So, 3 groups. The first group is akusala vipaka, right, resulted. And the second group, kusala vipaka, resultant of kusala. And the third one, ahituka kiriya. Right? So the first 2 are vipaka, resultant, and the last, kiriya. Okay. Now, what are dvipanja vijnana cetas? Now, in the chart you see dvipanja vijnana. What are they? 10 cetas connected with senses, right? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So each has 2. So there are 10. Dvi means 2, pancha means 5. So 2, 5 consciousnesses. So please remember the chart with circles also. Now, seeing consciousness, whether it is the result of akusala or kusala. So seeing consciousness is accompanied by how many cetasikas? Only 7, the universal 7. And they are not accompanied by any other cetasikas. So only 7. The same with hearing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting consciousness, touching consciousness. So with all these, say, 10 cetas, there are only 7 cetasikas. Only 7 cetasikas accompany these cetas, these 10 cetas. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and so on. And then the next one is what? Sampatichana. How many sampatichana cetas are there? 2. One from akusala vipaka and the other from kusala vipaka. And what feeling? Ubbeka feeling. Okay. So sampatichana ceta 2 are accompanied by how many cetasikas? 10 cetasikas, right? So 7 plus vitaka, vichara, and adhimokkha. Piti, viriya, piti, and chanda do not arise with them. Viriya is also strong and active, and ahituka cetas are not strong enough. So they are rootless, and so they are like a tree without a root. So they are not strong. And since they are accompanied by ubbeka feeling, there can be no piti. And since they are weak, chanda does not accompany them. So with 2 sampatichana cetas, there are only how many cetasikas? 10 cetasikas. 7 universals and vitaka, vichara, adhimokkha. Then santirana. There are 3 santirana cetas. One is accompanied by somanasa and 2 accompanied by upekkha. Okay, now 2 accompanied by upekkha. How many cetasikas? The same 10, right? So 7 universals, vitaka, vichara, and Adhimokkha. But with Somanasa Santirana, there is only one Santirana accompanied by Somanasa. So with that, how many Cetasikas? What do you add? Piti. Since it is accompanied by Somanasa, Piti also arises with it. So we add Piti and we get 11 Cetasikas. Next, Panchadwara Vajjana. 5 sense door adverting. Accompanied by what feeling? Ubbekha feeling. Okay. So, Panchadwara Vajjana has only how many Cetasikas? 10. Universal 7, Vitaka, Vichara and Adhimokkha. Then the next one is Manodwara Vajjana, mind door adverting. So with mind door adverting, how many Cetasikas? 11 Cetasikas. Now here, Virya accompanies Manodwara Vajjana. Now Manodwara Vajjana has 2 functions, or we have not come to the functions yet. So it will be explained in the 3rd chapter. So Manodwara has 2 functions. When it arises in 5 sense doors, it is called what? Uttabana, right? Determining consciousness. Determining consciousness is Manodwara Vajjana. Or you may not know it yet because it involves a thought process. But I think you're familiar with the thought process, right? At least one thought process. So it's okay. Then Manodwara Vajjana has 2 functions. When it arises through 5 sense doors, it is called determining. And when it arises through mind door, it is called Manodwara Vajjana. And it has the function of turning towards the object. So it has a function of adverting. So Manodwara Vajjana is accompanied by Virya also. Those that arise in Manodwara are stronger than those that arise in five sense doors. Okay, the last one. Smile producing, Hasitopara. You are going to smile, so there will be piti, right? Okay, so 7 universals, Vitaka, Vichara, Adhimokkha, Virya, Piti. Only Chanda is missing there. So altogether, how many Cetasikas? 12 Cetasikas. So 12 Cetasikas arise with Hasitupada, smile-producing consciousness. Smile-producing consciousness arises only in the minds of Arahants, in the minds of Buddhas, in the minds of Pacceka Buddhas, and in the minds of Arahants. So the Ahidukkha Cetas have the least number of Cetasikas arising with them compared with other Cetas like Akusala Cetas or coming Cetas, Kama, Vajra, Kusala, and so on. So with regard to Ahidukkha Cetas, we have to look only which group? Only among first group, right? Anyasamana group. So we don't have to worry about Akusala Cetasikas and Sobhana Cetasikas. So we look at only the 13 Cetasikas and find out which ones accompany which Ceta. So they are not difficult. Everything is not difficult today. So next we come to Kama Vajra Cetas, Kama Vajra Sobhana Cetas. How many of them are there? Kama Vajra Sobhana. 24. 8 Kusala, 8 Vipaka, and 8 Kiriya. Now here, the first and the second are put together. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So if you want to stretch it out, you can say Kama Vajra Kusala 1, Kama Vajra Kusala 2, Kama Vajra Kusala 3, and so on. Now I have to put them together here so that the chat does not run out of paper. So, Kama Vajra Kusala first and second. Now, the first Kama Vajra Kusala Chaita, accompanied by what feeling? Somanasa feeling. And associated with knowledge, jnana, right? Somanasa sahagata, jnana sampayoda, right? And then, unprompted or prompted? Unprompted. And then, unprompted, right? And the second chitta, accompanied by somanasa, with jnana or without jnana? With jnana. Okay. So that's why they are joined together here. So for these two chittas, how many chaitasikas arise with them? 38 chaitasikas, right? Yeah. Which are the 38? 13 anyasamanas, 13 common to others, and then 25 sobhana chaitasikas. All 25 sobhana chaitasikas arise with Kama Vajra Kusala first and second. Because they are accompanied by jnana, Panjendriya is also there, right? Okay. Now, we say that Kama Vajra Kusala, the first and the second Kama Vajra Kusala chaitas are accompanied by 38 chaitasikas. But can all 38 chaitasikas arise at the same time? Why? What about viriddhis? Right? What about appamanya? Viriddhis are unfixed adjuncts, right? That means they arise only when there is occasion for them. Only when there is the occasion for refraining from akusala, from refraining from wrongdoings, do they arise. So, the viriddhis may or may not arise with these two chaitas. But here we count all that can arise with these chaitas. But at one time, at a given time, these chaitas cannot be accompanied by all 38 chaitasikas. Right? 3 viriddhis may not arise with these at all. Right? When you are paying homage to the Buddha, they will not arise in your mind, right? Only when you refrain from killing, only when you refrain from telling a lie, only when you refrain from a wrong livelihood do they arrive. And even when they arrive one at a time. When there is right speech, there are no right action and right livelihood. So even when they arise, they can arise only one at a time with Kama Vajra chaitas. And the next two, appamanya also, karuna and mudita. Karuna and mudita also, they may or they may not arise with these two chaitas. Although there is dosa, right? Or that is metta, it's okay. So karuna and mudita arise only when you practice karuna, only when you practice mudita. So when you are studying like this, when you are paying homage to the Buddha, there is no karuna or mudita. So they may or may not arise with the Kama Vajra Kusala chaitas. And even when they arise, can they arise together? Karuna and mudita? No. When karuna arises, mudita cannot. And when mudita arises, karuna cannot. Why? Because they have different objects. Karuna takes beings in suffering, beings in distress, right? But mudita takes beings in success, beings in happiness. So their objects are different. So when their objects are different, they cannot arise together at the same time. So even if they arise, they will arise only one at a time. So can you tell me how many cetasikas always arise with Kamavajra Kusala 1 and 2? Okay. So how many cetasikas always arise with Kamavajra Kusala 1 and 2? 38 minus 5. Only 33. So 33 cetasikas, that is other than 3 viritis and 2 abhamanyas. So these 33 cetasikas always arise with Kamavajra Kusala, say first and second.
What does prompted and unprompted refer to here if we don't have tina?
Yeah, because there is no tina and meta to bother about. Yeah. So whether it is prompted or unprompted, the number of the cetasikas is the same. So only 33 cetasikas arise always. Every time these cetas arise, and they will arise. At one time, how many cetasikas at most can arise? 34. That means one of those 5, right? When there is right speech, there is only right speech. No right action, no right livelihood, no karuna, compassion, no mudita, sympathetic joy. So among these 5, only one can arise at a time. So at most, there can be only 34 cetasikas with them. Always, there are only 33 cetasikas with them. But if we add all the cetasikas that can arise with Kamavajra Kusala 1, first and second, we get 38. So we must understand this. Okay. The rest is easy. And third and fourth Kamavajra Kusala, they are not accompanied by Panya, right? They are not accompanied by Jnana. They are Jnana Vipayoda. So since they are Jnana Vipayoda, we have to subtract or leave out Panyendriya, the last one. So there are only 37 cetasikas arising with them. Here also, the 3 viritis and 2 abhamanyas arise sometimes only, and when they arise, one at a time. Then fifth and sixth. What feeling? Ubekha feeling. Since they are accompanied by ubekha feeling, no piti. So 38 minus piti, again 37. So number 3 and 4 arise with 37 cetasika, and number 5 and 6 also arise with 37 cetasikas. Although the number is the same, 37, the individual cetasikas are different. The difference is what? With piti, without jnana, right? And without piti, with jnana. And then 7 and 8, they are accompanied by ubekha, so no piti. Are they accompanied by jnana? No. Then you'll have to take both out, right? So without piti and without jnana, you get only 36. So Kamavajra Kusala number 7 and number 8 are accompanied by 36 Cetasikas. So 38 minus piti and jnana or Panyendriya. Okay, Kamavajra Vipaka. Again, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So 1 and 2 are accompanied by jnana, 3 and 4 without jnana, 5 and 6 with jnana, without piti, 7 and 8 without piti, without jnana. Okay. Now Kamavajra Vipaka first and second. The 13 Anya Samana Cetasikas and then 19 Sobhana Sadharana. But no Viditi, no Appamanya. Why? When I met people in this country, they always ask me, why? So today, I'm asking you why. So why? Now, viriti. Huh? It is said that viriti, if they are mundane, have the nature of kusala. When do they arise? Only when you refrain from, say, wrongdoing, right? Only when you refrain from killing, when you refrain from telling a lie, when you refrain from wrong livelihood, do they arise. So when you refrain from killing, you get kusala, not vipaka. So the viritis, when they arise with mundane cetas, have the nature of kusala. That is why they do not arise with vipaka cetas. Okay. What about the appamanya, karuna and mudita? Do they arise? No. Why? Huh? Now, it is said that Kamavajra Vipaka Cetas take the Kamavajra object only. When we come to the third chapter, the section on objects, they will understand that. The Kamavajra Vipaka Cetas take only the objects that are called Kamavajra. That means 54 Kamavajra Cetas, 52 Cetasikas, and 28 Rupas. So they take those things only as object. Now, Kamavajra Kusala can take many more objects. But Kamavajra Vipaka can take only objects that are called Kamavajra objects. Since they take only Kamavajra objects, Karuna and Mudita cannot arise with them. What object does Karuna take? Compassion. What does it take as an object? Beings, right? So here beings means concept of being, panyati, not ultimate reality. So, Karuna and Mudita take panyati, or concept, as object. And Kamavajra Vipaka Cetas take Kamavajra objects as object. So their objects are different. Now when we divide the objects, we divide them into Kamavajra object, say Rupavajra object, Arupavajra object, and so on. And so here, Kamavajra Vipaka Chetas take only Kamavajra objects as object. And Kamavajra objects means 54 Kamavajra Chetas, 52 Chetasikas and 28 Rupas. But Karuna and Mudita take the concept of beings. So when you take being as an object, that being is not ultimate reality. Right? Being is a concept. What is real in that being is Nama and Rupa or 5 aggregates, right? So when we say a being, when we take a being as an object, or a man as an object, a woman as an object, we are taking the concept as an object and not taking the reality. So Karuna and Mudita take concept as object. But Kamavajra Vipaka Chetas take Kamavajra object as object. So their objects are different. That is why they cannot arise. The Karuna and Mudita cannot arise with Kamavajra Vipaka Chetas. So both Viriti, 3 Viriti Chetasikas and 2 Abhabanya Chetasikas cannot arise with Kamavajra Vipaka Chetas. So we have only how many Chetasikas going along with the first and the second? Only 33. So 13 Anyasamana Chetasikas, 19 Sobhana Sadharana Chetasikas, and the last one, Panya or Panyendriya. So only 33. Number 3 and number 4, you know what to subtract. Yeah, no Panya, right? So 32. Then number 5 and number 6, without PD, but with Panya. So again, 32. And then number 7 and number 8, without PD, without Panya. So 31 only. So 33, actually 33, 33, 32, 32, 32, 32, 31, 31. Next, Kamavajra Kiriya. Again, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. With Kamavajra Kiriya, only Viritis do not arise. But Appamanya, Karuna and Mudita can arise with them. Arahants can practice Karuna, right? They can practice Mudita. They not only they can, they do practice Karuna and Mudita. Buddhas practice Karuna and Mudita. So Karuna and Mudita arise with Kamavajra Kiriya Chetas. So the objects of Kamavajra Kiriya Chetas are not limited to Kamavajra object only, as it is with Kamavajra Vipaka Chetas. So the first and the second Kamavajra Kriya Chetas are accompanied by how many Chetasikas? 35 Chetasikas. Only Viriti, 3 Viritis are missing. For the same reason, they do not arise with Kamavajra Kiriya, because they have the nature of Kusala. Is there an occasion for an arahant to refrain from killing? No. They have cut off this inclination to these wrongdoings altogether when they attain arahantship, right? So they don't have to refrain from, like other persons do. So Viritis do not arise with Kamavajra Kiriya Chetas, or Viritis do not have the nature of Kiriya, they have the nature of Kusala. So they do not arise with Kamavajra Kiriya Chetas. Then, first and second Kamavajra Kiriya Cheta, how many Chetasikas go along with them? 35, right? So 13 plus 19, and then, okay. So the first and second Kama Vajra Kriya Chetas are accompanied by 35 Cetasikas. 38 minus 3. And then the third and fourth, minus what? Minus Panya, so 34. And fifth and sixth, minus Piti, but with Panya. So again, the number is 34. And then the seventh and eighth, minus both Piti and Panya, so 33. So 35, 34, 34, 33. Okay. Next, what? Rupa Vachara. So we go by jhanas and not by Kusala, Vibhaka and Kiriya. If you want to go by Kusala, Vibhaka and Kiriya, we can do so. Right? So please remember the dots. So you see 3 columns with 5 each, right? So the top one is what? The first column is Kusala. The second column, Vibhaka. The third column, Kiriya. And the first of the first column, first jhana. And then down, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, fifth jhana. And also across, first jhana Vibhaka, first jhana Kiriya, right? So there are 3 first jhana chetas. 1 Kusala, 1 Vibhaka, 1 Kiriya. Similarly, 3 second jhana chetas, 3 third, fourth, fifth jhana chetas. Okay. Now, Rupa Vachara first jhana cheta, so there are 3. They are accompanied by how many cetasikas? 35. And which are the 35? 13 Anya Samana cetasikas, and 19 Sobhana Sadharana cetasikas, but without virati. Again, why? Why? Because their objects are different. First jhana, let's say, right? What object do they take? First jhana. You have not come to the section on objects, and so you don't know yet. Now, jhanas take the concepts as object. For example, a person practices kasina, right? So he memorized this kasina, and when he has memorized and he can see that kasina clearly in his mind, it becomes a concept. And that concept becomes the object of first jhana. So first jhana takes kasina sign or kasina concept of kasina as object, and there are other objects too, all are panyati. Now, viriti takes what? Something to transgress, killing, right? Lying or having a wrong livelihood. So they take a different object than the jhanas. Jhanas take concept as object, but the viritis take something to be what shall I say? Something to be transgressed, something to be broken. So since their objects are different, they cannot arise with jhana chetas. So there are no viritis with jhana chetas. And also, just by getting concentration. So you practice meditation, and just by getting concentration, you get jhanas. So you don't have to deliberately refrain from killing, lying, and livelihood, a wrong livelihood. So you don't need any viridities to attain jhanas. So the viridities do not arise with jhanas. Then karuna and mudita. Karuna and mudita arise with jhana chetas. You can get first jhana practicing karuna, practicing mudita. You can get second, third, fourth jhana practicing karuna and mudita. So they arise with jhana chetas. But viridities do not arise with jhana chetas. So 13 plus 19 plus 2, right? 2 plus 1. Panya always accompany all these chetas, jhana chetas and lokutra, supramundane chetas. So there are 35 chetasikas arising with rupavachara first jhana. With rupavachara second jhana, how many chetasikas? 34, one less. And which is that one? Vitaka. Because that person doesn't want vitaka, right? So he practiced meditation to eliminate vitaka, and as a result, his jhana is without vitaka. So without vitaka, 34. And then third jhana, without both vitaka and vichara. So 33. Fourth jhana, vitaka, vichara, and piti. Now it is strange here. Fourth jhana is accompanied by what? Somanasa or ubekha? Somanasa. But there is no piti here, right? That is because a person who has attained the third jhana wants to get the fourth jhana, right? So in order to get the fourth jhana, he must find fault with piti. He thinks that piti is shaking, piti is not as peaceful as sukha and upekha. So he tries to eliminate piti. So as a result of his meditation, when the jhana arises, there is no piti with it, but still it is accompanied by somanasa. So although the fourth jhana is accompanied by somanasa, there is no piti with it. So here piti is eliminated by force of meditation, by force of practice, not by its own nature. So by force of practice, piti is eliminated. That is why piti cannot arise with fourth jhana. So how many chetasikas? 32 only. Then the fifth jhana, the 3 fifth jhana chetas. How many? 30. Oh, karuna and mudita are gone here, right? No karuna and mudita. Right? Yeah. The fifth jhana is accompanied by ubekha, right? Karuna and mudita are accompanied by somanasa. So they cannot arise with the fifth jhana. So you take out 2, and so 32 minus 2, we get 30 chetasikas. So when you practice, now there are 4 sublime states of Brahma Viharas, right? So when you practice metta, what jhanas can you get? First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. When you practice karuna, how many jhanas? Say, first, second, third, fourth. Mudita, fourth. Ubekha, fifth, right? So the fifth jhana is accompanied by ubekha, and so there is no piti, and also no karuna and mudita. So it is accompanied by only 30 Cetasikas. Now, the fifth jhana is accompanied by ubbeka, right? That ubbeka is feeling ubbeka. Right? But ubbeka among the Brahma Vihara is what? I don't want you to be confused, to confuse these two, right? So, ubbeka as Brahma Vihara is what? Tatra Majjatata, right? Yeah. So, the fifth jhana is accompanied by ubbeka feeling. And there is also Tatra Majjatata, right? And that Tatra Majjatata is so developed that it becomes a Brahma Vihara. Okay, Arupa Vajra Chetas, all 12 are put together here. If you want to go one by one, you can. Here, Arupa Vajra, how many Arupa Vajra Chetas are there? 12. 4 Kusala, 4 Vipaka, and 4 Kiriya Chetas. Can you tell me the names of each one? In English? Infinite space, first consciousness, right? And then nothingness, right? And then neither perception nor non-perception. So, and Arupa Vajra Chetas, all 12 Arupa Vajra Chetas are reckoned as which jhana? Fifth jhana. Why? You will hear too many whys today. Yeah? So why? Fifth jhana. They are included in the fifth jhana, right? Because they have only 2 jhana factors, right? We will see it right now. They have only 2 jhana factors. Well, what are the 2 jhana factors? Ubbeka and Ekagata. Okay. Now we will find Ubbeka and Ekagata in the Cetasikas. So 12 Arupa Vajra Chetas are accompanied by 30 Cetasikas. Right. Huh? So, and they are all accompanied by feeling ubbeka, right? Ubbeka feeling, and also they are accompanied by the jhana factor, ekagata. Where do you find ubbeka and ekagata in this chart? Yeah, ekagata is among sabbajita sadharana, the first 7. And where is ubbeka? Feeling ubbeka. So where? In the same 7 Cetasikas. Right? You find both of them in 7 Cetasikas, right? So the 2 jhana factors are among the 7 sabbajita sadharana, 7 universal Cetasikas. Okay. So they are like 5th jhana, so they are also accompanied by 30 Cetasikas. And those 30 are 13 minus vitaka, vichara, piti. So 11. And then 19. And then no virati, no apamanya, but panya. So we get 30 Cetasikas. Now next, Next group. Sotapatti Magga, Sakadagami Magga, Anagami Magga, Arahata Magga. And then the bracket, and first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I've told you how to read this portion, right? So, Sotapatti Magga, first jhana, Sotapatti Magga, second jhana, Sotapatti Magga, third, fourth, fifth jhana. Then Sakadagami Magga, first jhana, and so on, fifth jhana. Then Anagami Magga, first jhana, until fifth jhana, and Anagami Magga, and so on. So, there is only one Sotapatti Magga, first jhana cheta. Right? Sotapatti Magga, that means the first column, right? And there is only one first jhana cheta. Right? Yeah. Now, the number given as 4 means Sotapatti Magga, Sakadagami Magga, Anagami Magga, Arahata Magga. So, that means first jhana, 4 first jhana chetas. That is Sotapatti Magga, Sakadagami Magga, Anagami Magga, Arahata Magga, and so on. Now let us take the first one. The first one is Sotapatti Magga, first jhana cheta. How many Jetisikas go with it? 36. So all 13 Anyasamanas, and then 19 Sobhana Sadharanas, and then Viriti 3. You remember that viritis, when they arise with Lokuttara Chetas, how do they arise? They arise together, and they arise always. Yeah? Whenever a Lokuttara Cheta arises, they arise, right? So they arise always together, and they arise together, and they arise always. Okay. So it is very strange, right? When they arise with Kamavajra Chetas, they arise one by one. But when they arise with Lokuttara Chetas, they arise all three together. Because the attainment of enlightenment or Magga can eradicate all inclinations towards these wrongdoings once and for all. So they have no occasion to eradicate them one by one. So that is why these three arise together with Lokuttara Chetas. Now, when Magga Cheta arises, actually, a person is not refraining from any of the wrongdoings, right? But at that moment, all inclinations towards, all, liability, say, towards these evils is destroyed. So since all inclinations towards all these evils are destroyed, they arise together. So with Lokuttara Chetas, there will always be three viritis, and they will arise three altogether. Okay. So Sotapatti Magga, first jhana. And there are how many Jetisikas? 36. And those are 13 Anyasamanas, 19 Sobhana Sadharanas, 3 viritis, no Appamanya, but 1 Panya. So 36. Now first jhana Rupa Vajra. How many Jetisikas? 35. First jhana Magga Cheta, 36. Right? Yeah. The difference is viriti and Appamanya. Right? There are Appamanya, no viriti. But here with Lokuttara Chetas, there are viriti but no Appamanya. Viritis are 3 and Appamanya 2, so there is difference of 1. So 36 Jetisikas with first jhana. Then second jhana, it's easy. Yeah, you take out Vitaka. Now with that jhana, you take out Vitaka and Vichara. Fourth jhana, you take out Vitaka, Vichara and Piti. And with fifth jhana, same, Vitaka, Vichara and Piti. Since viritis arise with all Lokutara Chetas, there is no difference here between fourth and fifth jhana Chetas. So we get 33 Chetasikas for both fourth jhana Cheta and fifth jhana Cheta. So 36, 35, 34, 33, 33. The same with Sagadagami Magga, second column. So there are five Chetas in the second column, right? First jhana, Sagadagami Magga, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, fifth jhana. The Chetasikas are the same. 36, 35, 34, 33, 33. The same with Anagami Magga, the third column, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. The same with Arhata Magga, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then we go to next column, next four columns. Phala Chetas, fruition. So there are also Sotabati, Phala, first jhana, Sotabati Phala, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, fifth jhana. Sagadagami Phala, first jhana, second, third, fourth, fifth jhana. Anagami, Arhata Phala, first, second, third, fourth, fifth jhana. Okay. Now, with first jhana Cheta, Sotabati Phala, first jhana Cheta. How many Chetasikas? The same, 36. 13 Anyasamanas, 19 Sopanasādharanas, and then 3 Viritis and 1 Panya. For second jhana Chetas, minus Vitaka. For third jhana Chetas, minus Vitaka and Vichara. For fourth jhana Chetas, minus Vitaka, Vichara and Piti. And the fifth jhana, same. So here the numbers are the same, 36, 35, 34, 33, 33. So you come to the end of Sangaha method. So it may be difficult to memorize, but if you have the chart, it is easy. Yeah. If you want to memorize, you may do so. Now, and please read the manual also, the corresponding pages, right? Yeah. Now, there is one thing, one more method. You have the sheets. Hmm? Mixture of two methods, right? Yeah. That's not now. But at least I want you to have a taste of it. Yeah? Mixture of two methods. Now this method is not mentioned in the manual. It is not given in the manual. So it is not taught in the manual. So some people are some people don't have those sheets. This is the mixture of both Sampayoga and Sangaha. So here it is like, what do you call that? Touching your finger with the finger, it is said. So it is very difficult because it is a mixture of both Sampayoga and Sangaha method. Or in other words, we find out how many Chetasikas arise with a certain Chetasika. Not Chetasika with Cheta, not Cheta with Chetasika, but Chetasika with Chetasika. So in order to find that out, we have to mix both methods. We have to find out first how many Chetas go along with that Chetasika, and then how many cetasikas go along with those cetas? So it is two step. If you are not familiar with the first two methods, this will be very difficult. But let us try a little of this, right? Yeah. Now, how many cetasikas go with phassa? That is the question. Yeah. So phassa is a cetasika, and we want to know how many cetasikas can arise with phassa, right? In order to know this, first we must find out how many cetas does phassa accompany. Now you all know that phassa accompanies all 89 cetas, so we get 89 cetas. Then, how many cetasikas arise with 89 cetas? All 52, right? So we get 52. But phassa cannot arise with phassa. So you take phassa out. So how many cetasikas left? 51. So we say phassa cetasika arises or can arise with 51 cetasikas. So this is a mixture of two methods, right? Not so difficult as it seemed before, right? So you look at this sheet, right? Phassa arises with 89 cetas. That is Sampayoga method. And with 89 cetas arise 52 cetasikas. That is Sangaha method. Therefore, phassa arises with 51 cetasikas. That is 52 minus itself, but phassa. So if you know phassa, then you know also vedana, right? How many cetasikas arise with vedana? 51. 52 minus vedana, and so on, right? So with the 7 universals, the same answer. Okay, let's go a little further. Vitaka. Now, vitaka arises with how many cetas? 55 cetas. And how many cetasikas arise with those 55 cetas? Now, you can just imagine that there are akusala cetas, right? Among the 55 cetas, there are akusala cetas, there are kusala cetas, there are jhana cetas. And so, just by guessing, you can say all 52 cetasikas, and that is right. Then, you take out vitaka, because vitaka cannot arise with vitaka. So, vitaka arises with 51 cetasikas. The same with vichara, right? Vichara arises with 51 cetasikas. Now we come to adhimokkha. Adhimokkha arises with 50 cetasikas, not 51. Because adhimokkha and vicikiccha are incompatible, right? So adhimokkha can arise with only 50 cetasikas. Or if you can find out by Sampayoga method and Sangaha method also. Because adhimokkha does not arise with vicikiccha sampayutta ceta, I mean the first mohamula ceta, right? Yeah. Then virya. Similar to phassa, or 51 cetasikas. Virya does not arise with, say, seeing consciousness and so on, and some paticana santirana, right? So it arises with kusala, and it arises with akusala cetas, and also jhana and other cetas. So all 52 cetasikas arise with those cetas. So virya arises with 51 cetasikas. Piti. Can piti arise with domanassa? No. Now, dosa, isa, machari, and kukuja, they arise with dosa mula citta only. So they can never arise with piti. And then vicikiccha arises with first moha mula citta only. And that is accompanied by ubekha, right? So 52 minus 4, 5, and itself be 6. 52 minus 6, we get 46 Cetasikas. Okay, the last one, Chanda. Chanda does not arise with Vicikiccha, right? First, Moha Mula Ceta. And it also does not arise with Ahituka Cetas. But it arises with Akusala Cetas and Kusala Cetas. So actually it arises with almost all Cetasikas, except Vicikiccha. So it arises with 50 Cetasikas. That means 52 minus Vicikiccha and Chanda itself. So this way you find out how many Cetasikas can arise with a certain Cetasika. And this is called, say, mixture of two methods. And did I say anything about that? No. So this method was introduced by a Burmese, a very learned Burmese teacher. He wrote a book on, say, Abhidhamma Sangha, and he introduced this method. It's very good for those who want to familiarize themselves thoroughly with Cetasika combinations. So the first two methods are good, but if you can do the mixture method also, then you become very thoroughly familiar with Cetasika combination. That means you memorize all methods, not looking at the chart and giving the answers. Okay, I think we come to the end of the second chapter today. Now these Cetasikas are actually very interesting, and in the manual, for each Cetasika, the characteristic, function, mode of manifestation, and proximate causes are given, right? So they are very interesting, and among them, the proximate cause is most interesting. I mean, why? Why? Now, what we call emotions, what nowadays are called emotions, are all among these 52 Cetasikas. Lobha, dosa, right? So, then you want to deal with these emotions, what to do? You find out what causes them, and then attack them or treat those causes, right? Yeah. So the knowledge of proximate causes of some of the Cetasikas can help you in your daily life, in your life. It can give you good results. So they are very interesting. Even though if you cannot study all 4 of them, at least you study 2 of them. Characteristic, the first one, and the proximate cause, the last one. If you cannot study the proximate cause, the characteristics is a must. You must understand the characteristic of each and every Cetasika. Say, Phassa has a characteristic of what you call impinging on the object. Vedana has a characteristic of experiencing or enjoying the object, and so on. So at least, please try to remember the characteristics of all these Cetasikas. And if you can do a little more, then the proximate cause. And still more, all 4 of them. Okay, now. Thank you. Now today, you see these 2 monks, they are from Taungpulu, and there are 2 gentlemen back there with white dresses. They come from Mexico, and they come here to study Abhidhamma with me, and I'm teaching them Abhidhamma, a crash course in Tampulu. First, I plan to teach them at the monastery, but now we cannot have classes or, say, gatherings at the monastery, and so I give them choice, either at the Tathagata Center or Tampulu, and they prefer Tampulu. So I was there, and I came over here today. So there are altogether now 10 of them. Imagine people from Mexico interested, already they are Buddhists and interested in both Abhidhamma and Vipassana. Actually, not only interested, they have been practicing Vipassana for years with teachers from Thailand. And now they want to study Abhidhamma more, and so I'm teaching them Abhidhamma now. So they drove me here, and so I will go back to Tampulu tomorrow, and then next week I will come back. So what I want to say is Abhidhamma is spreading. So first it is spreading among you people, say most of you are Vietnamese people, and then now it is spreading towards south of United States, right? Yeah. And I'm very excited about it because I'm lucky that I have this monk Unandisena with me. He is from Argentina, and so he speaks the same language as they speak, Spanish. So I'm teaching through him, because there are some people who don't understand English. So with the interpreter, translator, I'm teaching them Abhidhamma. Maybe they will pass you. Because I'm teaching them twice a day. No weekend. No day off.
Great competition.
Today I taught them 12 akusala chetas, and I let them say the chetas one by one, like they are children. I hope you can say those chetas now. Very good. Okay, so I'm very glad about that. Okay, say sadhu, 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 sadhu.